Thank you, Deputy Speaker. Today we see the latest Queensland Audit Office report, which draws a focus on the state government's failure to provide timely health care for Queenslanders. The latest independent report, which addresses the importance of open data in tackling challenges like underperforming hospitals. An important report, Deputy Speaker, that highlights the state government's failure to accurately measure and share important hospital performance data, which, if shared in a timely and transparent manner, would shine a light on the crisis of care that exists in Queensland's hospitals. Queenslanders want to know that when they go to their local hospital, they'll get the treatment that they need when they need it. Right now, Deputy Speaker, too many Queenslanders aren't getting the care that they need when they need it. Over recent months, we've heard countless stories of Queenslanders suffering unnecessarily as they wait for surgery, and of Queenslanders dying because they didn't get the emergency care that they needed when they needed it. Too often, when those stories have been told, the government's response has been to dismiss them. The Premier and her ministers have dismissed them because they're politically inconvenient. But every time, Deputy Speaker, that ministers and the Premier dismiss the cries for help from everyday Queenslanders, they are telling Queenslanders that they don't really care. It shows that they don't care about Queenslanders like Judith Hamilton, who, when in insufferable pain and suffering from a suspected case of sepsis, waited 9.5 hours for an ambulance to arrive. Despite living one block from the ambulance station, an ambulance arrived more than 9 hours after the first call for help, but it was too late. It was reported that the Queensland Ambulance Service said that Judith's case should have been escalated, that there were staff shortages and delays at the hospitals. Judith and her family deserve better. Bob Nisha's wife of 50 years, Janelle, suffered a serious fall at her nursing home. Bleeding and unable to be moved, Janelle waited more than 6 hours, suffering unnecessarily before passing away days later. Although Janelle was already seriously ill, Bob feels the delay sped things up and he lost precious days with his wife that they would never get back. Judith and Janelle's stories are just two of the many thousands of Queenslanders that hospital performance data represents. Dismissing the need for timely, transparent and accurate hospital performance data will only result in more Queenslanders who can't get the care that they need in their hour of need. Deputy Speaker, it's easy to dismiss the importance of data, but in government, that which you do not measure cannot be fixed. In the report, the Auditor-General highlighted the need for health system planning that uses open data and up-to-date data. The Auditor-General stated, and I quote, "It's important that emergency departments and the Queensland Ambulance Service have accurate, readily available, time-based performance measures. This will help them identify performance issues so they can work with and across other clinical areas to address the causes of delays." End quote. I'd go further and I'd suggest that it's important for all Queenslanders to have access to such data so that they can make informed decisions about their health treatment options. New South Wales reports emergency department performance in real time, and it means that in places like Sydney, residents can make decisions about which hospital they'll get treatment in a timely fashion. The result is that pressure is shifted from hospitals where demand is greater to those which have additional capacity, all by providing residents with timely, transparent and accurate data. In question time this morning, we heard shouts from the Minister for Health that her state government were releasing hospital performance data, but let's have a look at a comparison between Queensland and the other states. In Queensland, the best data that I can access in relation to, say, the Mater Public Hospital is aggregated quarterly data, and the most recent data is more than 2.5 months old. That data shows that Category 2 patients were not seen within the that half of Category 2 patients were not seen within the clinically recommended timeframe. And they're not patients with minor illnesses and injuries. They're patients in very severe pain, patients suffering from acute stroke, sepsis or multiple major trauma. If we look at New South Wales right now, on their real-time hospital performance portal, we can see that at the Royal North Shore Hospital that 10 patients are waiting for treatment. That's right now. We can see that right now. We can see that there's 44 beds available in that emergency department. Even in the ALP utopia of Victoria, hospital performance data is released daily. Queenslanders deserve better than being kept in the dark about the performance of their local hospitals. They deserve to know that when they call for an ambulance, help will arrive. They deserve a health system that provides the emergency treatment that they need to survive. And Queenslanders deserve to see real-time hospital performance data so that they can make informed decisions about their health options. So I again call on the state government to end the culture of secrecy that's pervaded for so long. Hospital data is not being shared, and it should be, and I call on the state government to get serious about transparency, implement real-time hospital performance data for the benefit of all Queenslanders.